Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news-making headlines today. President Lee Jae-myung convened a cabinet meeting/emergency economic meeting at the Blue House on Monday. He urged his cabinet to, number 1, diversify energy supply routes and, number 2, reduce the country's heavy dependence on fossil fuels. The president also stressed the need for swift execution of the government's supplementary budget once it passes parliament. The more than $17 billion package is aimed at cushioning the economy from the energy and inflation shock caused by the war. The National Assembly is set to begin reviewing the government's extra budget bill on Tuesday, with the aim of passing it at a plenary session later this week. Fierce political battles continued through the second day of government questioning sessions, which this time focused on the economy, especially the Middle East war's impact on it. The National Assembly convened a plenary session on Monday, with government officials, including Prime Minister Kim Min-seok and Finance Minister Koo Yoon-chol, present. Lawmakers from the ruling and opposition parties clashed over the government's proposed supplementary budget, drafted in response to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. The ruling Democratic Party continued to stress its efforts on examining broader measures tied to energy security and economy by expanding shipping routes, including passage through the Red Sea, and diversifying supply sources and regions. The main opposition People Power Party argued that key components of the budget proposal, such as subsidies to offset high energy prices and funding for renewable energy projects, are mere cash handouts for electoral purposes. The United States and Iran have both received a framework for a possible ceasefire agreement, according to Reuters, raising hopes for a pause in hostilities. The proposal outlines a two-stage plan, starting with an immediate ceasefire, followed by a comprehensive agreement to be finalized within 15 to 20 days, reportedly pushed by Pakistan. Iran has rejected the proposal, with an official telling Reuters on Monday that Tehran will not reopen the critical Strait of Hormuz in exchange for a merely temporary ceasefire. Earlier on Saturday local time, President Donald Trump took to his Truth Social platform, threatening to rain, quote, hell on Iran if a deal isn't reached to end hostilities and reopen the Strait of Hormuz by 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. South Korea will closely watch developments around the Strait of Hormuz this week, as 26 Korean ships remain in nearby waters. A foreign ministry official said Monday the Middle East situation could reach another critical point this week, after U.S. President Donald Trump warned Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours or face major attacks. The official said Seoul's top priority remains the safety of ships and crew, while also taking into account the position of shipping companies operating in the region. Separately, the Blue House denied a media report claiming humanitarian aid was being considered. It said humanitarian assistance is being examined solely to address conditions in the Middle East. The government says it is coordinating with relevant countries, calling for freedom of navigation and the safety of all vessels in the Strait of Hormuz to be ensured as soon as possible. BTS has set another milestone in the global music industry, becoming the first K-pop act to remain atop the US Billboard 200 for 2 consecutive weeks. The group's new release Arirang earned 187,000 equivalent album units in the United States for the week ending April 2nd. With a second week at number 1 on the Billboard 200, Arirang becomes the group's longest-running chart-topping album, surpassing their previous 6 releases that each spent 1 week at the top. Lead single Swim debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 last week. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.